Hi. Earlier I talked about my gold ring quest, and I intimated in that video that the XP Deus would be my main tool. It will still be my main tool, but I have a special circumstance here where even the XP Deus is not going to do what I need it to do because I'm going to be in an extraordinarily trashy area. Now, we all know that in a park there are various levels of trash. The park I've been detecting most often lately has the trash in a very isolated area near the front of the park, a very small park. There is a couple of picnic tables under a built overhang or built, I don't know what you would call it. But in any case, there's a roof over it. And right around there, it's extraordinarily trashy. Of course, that's where people eat. That's where people have pool tabs, etc. It's also where most of the people are, so there could be something there. Even my elusive gold ring, however unlikely. In any case, I need a tool to do it and to check it out and to go into the area. And this is the smallest coil I've got, a 4-inch coil, which I purchased for the Golden Umax. I have a large Bigfoot type coil I use for this for very shallow scanning. Unfortunately, a Bigfoot or any large coil is going to pick up multiple targets in this area. I made a small dig in that area and came up with 2 pull tabs just like that. And unfortunately, as I stated before, pull tabs and gold rings have the same signature, same VDI, same ID in most metal detectors. Well, the Golden Umax, unfortunately this is the old tone, the new tones have a larger separation, but I'm going to use what I've got. The Golden Umax is known for being able to differentiate to a degree a pull tab from gold, from a nickel, from a quarter, from a dime. Whether that works or not, and to the degree, I'm going to find out. But anyway, so here's what I do. First, for the Golden Umax, and I'll let you see it here. This is the old original Golden Umax. I'm going to take a look at this. I've made a mark, a black mark here, that indicates where I need to be in something called the notch width. The notch width not only increases and decreases the wide and narrow notch, of course that eliminates ring tabs, and the wide eliminates both ring tabs and zinc pennies. I'm keeping the notch off. If you keep the notch off on Umax, this is supposed to control the tone area of different targets. If you want details on this, look up 53 Silver. He's got a very good video on this. It is using the new tones. I wish I had new tones for this particular function, but since I don't, I'll use what I've got. In any case, basically I'm going to use a notch at this point. I am going to turn up some discrimination here on iron. That way I don't have to worry about the low tone. I need to worry about the 3 possible higher tones that might have something I want. So I'm going to go down here. I've got threshold, in fact, turned all the way up. I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to turn up my sensitivity, which is going to be restricted since I'm doing this inside my apartment. And then I'm going to turn up the threshold. Now, first thing I need to do is I need to go to all metal for set threshold. Missed a step. So go up like this. There we go. See, you hear that? I have a threshold right here. I'm going to keep the threshold there. And I'm just barely going to make it silent. So that's the all metal threshold. I'm going to switch from all metal to discrimination, because discrimination is what I'm going to be required to get the tone differentiation. Alright, here we go. I'm going to test. Now, I'm going to assume that a gold ring, as reputation would suggest, falls within the general area of a nickel. It also can fall in the general area of foil, so I'm looking for those signals in particular. So I'm going to take the Golden Umax. I'm going to do not an air test, an air sound test. I'm not a big fan of air tests, and not even an air sound test, but here we go. I have a nickel here, so the nickel sound is this. For lack of a better sound, I'm calling that, lack of a better descriptor, I'm calling that a duck quack. Alright, so that's the sound I'm looking for my gold ring. This is one of our fun ring tabs. Now this should give a different sound. Hear that ding, 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 ding? You don't have the duck crack, so we know that I'm differentiating at least the nickel sound, if not a ring sound, from the ring tab. At least that's just the ring, not the full pull. Okay, now here's a zinc penny. Now I think it's going to have about the same sound as the ring pull. Very similar sound, ring pull. So right now I've discriminated out to some degree the zinc pennies and at least the ring portion of the ring pull. Now I've got the dime. The dime, see there, not a dong 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 like the ring pull or the zinc penny, but more of a high-pitched dinging sound. I'd use a quarter too, but I've already tested this once and I know the quarter and the dime have almost an identical sound. So this is also the sound I would get for a quarter. So now I've got those tones differentiated. I've got the duck quack, the nickel. I've got the dong 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 dong, the dong 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 sound from the Yeah, that's not quite a dong, but it's what my descriptor is going to be. And I've got the same sound with the ring pull. And what the ring pull, I can get a echo sound, so, but it's still basically the same as the zinc penny. And then I've got the dime, which is the high pitch, ding 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 ding. All right, now so I've got my arsenal of sounds in my head. Unfortunately, I do not have a great ear for sound. There are people in my family with musical talent. It completely dodged my genetic structure. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to go out. I'm going to try it. And then I might do a little bit from the park and we'll see how it works. Anyway, that's what I've got. And we'll check this out later. Bye-bye. Well, I made it back out to the park and see I'm in this area. Very notorious for being trashy. It's just like a picnic area in a regular park. So you see, this is not the best park in the world if you're going to be looking for something particular, not the best area of the park. So I'm going to give this a shot now with my Golden Umax with a small coil and see what I get. I will let you know. Sorry about the wind. So far I've been out here for a little while and I've pulled up a screw and looks like a little washer. But that's sort of an achievement. They both had nickel signals. I haven't pulled up a single pull tab yet, so it looks like the differentiation is working. I'm hearing the duck quack and I'm digging up what I'm trying to dig up. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye. Okay, I managed to pick up a penny out of the trash, so that's a minor achievement, but it wasn't what I was looking for, so I'll keep going at it. Bye-bye. Well, it's not all good. I did pull out a full pull tab, not a ring, so that's something. Take this back with me. You know how I've got 1,000 pull tabs, man, throw them all away, so I can analyze this when I get home. Well, I found another penny. So I'm picking out something from the trash, but not that good. I think this is a zinc. That was sort of a strange sound, so made a mistake on that one, but at least I wasn't a pull tab. Only one pull tab out of 4 digs. 2 digs were nickel trash, not actually nickels, but nickels thing with nickel signals, and the last 2 were 2 pennies. Alright, I made my trip to the local park, and you note the area that I detected around. Very trashy area, right around a picnic table, you know, so people are eating, drinking, etc., and throwing their stuff everywhere. So this was actually, despite the horrible showing, it appears to be very successful. I'm trying to, get a device where I can go into a trashy area and pick out the things I want to pick out. In fact, my only 3 failures Oh well, there's actually 4. There's one I didn't bring or lost. Were the pull tabs over here, and the ring tab and the ring for the pull tab. Those I was trying to avoid. Now, is it because there's not many ring tabs around there? Possibly. Or is I was successful in avoiding them? Don't know that for sure. But I do know that these 2 piles do emphasize a success. The pennies, they were basically the result of using a small coil. So I could pick them from beside various pieces of trash and garbage. The big success is this pile of junk, because each one of these are nickel signals and potential gold rings. I have a washer that gave me a nickel signal. These particular kind of pulls or square tabs or whatever you want to call them, they are they're indistinguishable from a nickel. There's nothing you're going to do that's going to prevent these from showing up as nickels. So I'm considering these as stand-in for the nickels I didn't find. And as we know, nickels are not always that easy to find. If you check your pockets right now, unless you've been to the bank and bought a roll of nickels, you'll find nickels are very rare, or let's just say they're not the majority coins in your pocket. But these are nickel signals. This is a screw cap. You know, they ring up like quarters, dimes, etc. So those are unavoidable. And these are screws. Each one of these screws were, I'm not sure what they're made out of, but they all gave nickel signals. So these are all nickel signals. So, you know, yeah, you're not going to be able to avoid digging trash. I come to that conclusion very early. But what I have here is 1, 2, 4, 8 potential gold rings. You know, if the gold ring had been there, I was at least able to find the signal that would have shown me that ring. Now, this is now gold rings cover a wide range of sizes, etc. Most gold rings are smaller because they're less expensive. But, you know, there are also gold rings that are going to ring up into the 30s, into the 40s, etc., according to whatever scale you're using. If it's a 1 to 100 scale that a lot of the detectors use. So those are going to be easy to find because you're going to be digging those as outstanding signals. What I'm looking for is the signals that fall in that low range of the small rings that is going to drive me nuts pulling the pull tab. So this was successful. Now, it doesn't mean this is a very small sample in a very small area. So still, when I pull out my desk and when I start hitting the parks hard looking for that elusive diamond ring, I'm going to be digging pull tabs. But this at least shows me that if I'm in an isolated area, in an area where I can use a small coil, maybe I can use the Golden Umax to go in and cherry pick some signals that are more likely to be gold rings. In any case, that's another experiment, and this is the quest for the gold ring, part 2. And unfortunately, I see many parts to follow before success. Anyway, I will talk to you later, and good hunting, everybody.